What is cocaethylene? When you mix alcohol and cocaine, it actually creates its own chemical. It's called cocaethylene. There's not a ton of research done on this, but this is why the combination of those two drugs has the effect that it does. I mixed alcohol and cocaine for a very long time. My drugs of choice were alcohol and cocaine because in my infinite wisdom as an addict, I thought I knew how to fully self-medicate. But what happens is you actually create a very dangerous new chemical in your system that also affects your central nervous system. And here's what it is. If you're new to the channel, hit the like and subscribe button. What's up, guys? My name is Eric, and I just share from my experiences as a cocaine and alcoholic addict for anybody out there struggling, suffering, going through it, who wants to understand and start that fight of getting sober, doing the research, doing the due diligence, and going, how do I turn my life around? One of the things that people don't realize is very common and very often that people mix cocaine and alcohol. When you mix cocaine and alcohol, like I did a ton, it creates a new chemical in your brain. It is called cocaethylene. It's literally a new chemical that it creates. And what it really does is it blocks a lot of the dopamine reuptake into your system. If you don't know how your brain works, dopamine is one of the neurotransmitters that cocaine affects, along with even alcohol. When you block the reuptake, you're literally kind of blocking this from being absorbed into your brain. So it gives you this more euphoric, happy, joyous feeling. It's intensified. It's a lot stronger than what it normally is. Also, when it finally does absorb into your system, it makes you feel depressed a lot easier, a lot harder, a lot quicker. The serotonin part of it, if that reuptake is blocked, that creates the irritation, the moody, the anger side of it. So there are a couple different things that can happen in your system. So mixing these two creates this new chemical that prevents that from happening even more. That alone now affects your central nervous system. You're affecting your neurons in your brain. You're going to get depressed longer, harder, faster, stronger. The other thing though too is it makes the effects of cocaine more intense and makes it last longer, which a lot of times people don't realize is now all of a sudden that high of cocaine, which is usually maybe 5 to 10 minutes, is now 15, 20 minutes long. So it actually extends the effect of what cocaine makes you feel and how it's working in your brain. It makes it last longer. Again, with anything that lasts longer though, the flip side is that crash is harder. And that's what we don't realize is that little bit of depression you might have felt is now 10 times greater. That little bit of irritability that you felt that you could maybe control is now 10 times greater. And that is what ends up happening when you create this chemical in your system. And a lot of times we don't even realize this. Nobody realizes the danger of mixing alcohol and cocaine. Majority of the time people think that, hey, if I do coke, it's gonna make me sober up. It doesn't make you sober up. What it ends up doing is it's a more powerful effect than what the alcohol effects are on your body and on your brain. So you feel like you're sober, even though you really aren't sober. You just have a more concentrated, stronger effect taking place that gives you that fake impression that you are sober, that you are speaking clearly, that you aren't stumbling, that you aren't mixing your words, where in fact you're just a train wreck of disaster happening. So for the one out there struggling, I share about this just to help anybody understand what it is that they're going through, understand their addiction, and know that, how I got sober is how I got sober. It's not how anyone else I recommend necessarily get sober, because getting sober is our own journey and it's different for everybody. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a counselor, I'm not a therapist. My name is Eric. I'm diagnosed with ADHD, PTSD, GAD, and MDD. Those are my diagnoses. I'm a recovering cocaine and alcoholic addict. And I just like to share my testimony, share my story for the ones out there struggling, for the ones out there going through it, to know that they're not alone, to know that it does get better. I have links down below to AA and NA. And reach out for help. If you are an addict and you get to that point that you want to get sober, trust me, it is worth it. And everybody in your life already knows that you're an addict. So coming out and telling everybody that you're an addict, that you need help, isn't going to surprise anyone. In fact, they'll be more grateful than anything else. And for the one going through it, you got this one day at a time. So hit that like and subscribe button. You got this.